Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're peeling back the curtain on some of the most elite, most secretive units on the planet, the U.S. Special Operations Forces. We're going to go way beyond the Hollywood hype to find out what it really means to be one of these quiet professionals. Right, so you hear that term all the time, right? Special Operations. But what does it actually mean? Well, as you're about to find out, it is not just one kind of soldier. No, it's this incredibly complex ecosystem of absolute experts, every single one with a unique and totally critical mission. So here's the plan. First, we're going to bust some of those Hollywood myths. Then, we'll jump back in time to a mission that went horribly wrong but changed everything. From there, we'll get into the different jobs they do, what it costs to even get a foot in the door, and finally, we'll look at the core beliefs that drive these incredible people. Okay, so to really wrap your head around special operations, the very first thing you got to do is get rid of the idea that it's just one job. It's not. It's this huge network of highly specialized professionals all working together. Yeah, so forget that image of an army of identical commandos. Think of it more like a championship team. You've got your direct action guys, the door kickers, sure, but you also have world-class pilots, combat medics who can perform surgery under fire, and intelligence operators who move like ghosts. Every single one is a vital piece of a much larger puzzle. Now here's where it gets really fascinating. Some of the most capable, most legendary units that exist today were literally born from the ashes of one of America's most public and painful military disasters. Back in April of 1980, the world was watching. Operation Eagle Claw was supposed to be this daring rescue of 66 American hostages in Tehran. Instead, it ended in a fiery catastrophe in the desert. And when they picked through the wreckage, the review was just brutal. It pointed to two massive, fatal flaws. They didn't have the right kind of aircraft for the job, and they had no idea what they were actually flying into.
The official report called it a serious and persistent information deficiency. You know what that means in plain English? They were flying completely blind. They were missing what the pros call human intelligence, or HUMINT. That's the critical info you can only get from people on the ground. The planners were basically just guessing.
And this is a perfect example of how failure can be the ultimate teacher. To fix these two huge problems, they created two now legendary units. The 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, the Night Stalkers, was born to fly the missions no one else could. And to make sure they were never flying blind again, the ultra-secretive U.S. Army Intelligence Support Activity, or ISA, was created to go in first and map out the shadows. So that disaster created brand new capabilities. And that's where you start to see this incredible spectrum of specialization really take shape. Let's look at 4 totally different units that show you just how diverse this world really is. This chart really lays it all out. Just look at the missions. You got aviation, personnel recovery, raiding, and intelligence. These aren't just slightly different versions of the same job. We're talking about fundamentally different career paths, each one demanding a completely unique kind of person and skill set. Let's dig into that a bit. The Night Stalkers, they are, without a doubt, the best special ops pilots in the world. I mean, some of these guys have more flying time using night vision goggles than a lot of airline pilots have in their entire logbooks. Then you have the Pararescue men, or PJs. These guys are part commando, part paramedic, and they're sent into the absolute worst places on Earth to save lives. Marine raiders are the masters of coastal warfare and hitting targets hard from the sea. And the ISA, well, they're the spies. They collect HUMINT from people and SIGINT, that's signals intelligence, like phone intercepts, to prepare the way before anyone else even knows a mission is coming. So, if those are the jobs, what does it actually take to get one? Well, the price of admission isn't paid in money. It's paid in sweat, in pain, and with a level of mental grit that is almost impossible to comprehend. You have to understand, the selection process for these units isn't just a tough physical test, it's a psychological meat grinder. It is literally designed to find every single weakness you have, physical or mental, and exploit it until you break. Because on a real-world mission, one person's weakness can get the entire team killed. And the numbers, I mean, they're just staggering. The training pipeline to become an Air Force PJ washes out about 80% of the people who try. 80%. For officers trying to become Night Stalker pilots, their selection course, Green Platoon, gets rid of nearly 70%. These courses aren't just hard, they're built for the vast majority of people to fail. And for the tiny few who actually pass that first test, The real work has just started. The Pararescue pipeline, for example, is a nearly 2-year-long marathon. It'll take you from combat diving school at the bottom of the ocean to military freefall school in the sky, all while you're learning to be an expert paramedic who can work under enemy fire. It's just relentless. So what's the point of all this punishment? It's to forge a certain kind of mindset, a will that cannot be broken. And it's captured perfectly in the Night Stalkers motto: Night Stalkers don't quit. For them, that's not just some cool-sounding slogan. It's the absolute non-negotiable law of their existence. And that really brings us to the heart of it all. What truly defines these operators isn't just what they can do, but why they do it. It's the creed they live by, the purpose that pulls them through all that sacrifice. Each motto really gives you a peek into the soul of the unit. The ISA's Truth Conquers All Chains, that's all about their intelligence mission. The old Marine Raider battle cry, Gung Ho, that captures that all-in, working-together spirit. The Night Stalkers motto is all about resilience. But the Pararescue creed, man, that one's on a whole other level. I don't think there's another phrase in the entire military that so perfectly captures the selfless, service-driven heart of special operations. It's so simple and so powerful. It tells you exactly why they would endure the hardest training in the world and risk everything in the most dangerous places on Earth. So what does it really take? In the end, it's not the cool gear or even the incredible physical skills. It's a deep, unshakable commitment to a purpose that's way bigger than any one person. The real answer to what defines these warriors isn't what they accomplish on the mission, but the values they carry with them long after the uniform comes off.